takes his time, and this is just great recognition of understanding a sweep dribble and then an explosion right to the rim. Another awesome play by Kawhi. This right here, you know, I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Just put them in the basket. You know what? I love that play by Kawhi. And the last few games, when you watch the way he's playing with more force. Why is Kawhi playing with more force? It's because he's starting to get healthy. His conditioning is there. He's not going to say much. He is the fun guy, but he's going to say everything on a basketball court.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Terance Mann, who has earned every single second he has received on the court. Some of the minutes cut back as guys get healthy and bigger names roll onto the team per se. But besides the minutes, we have watched Terance take over that second unit. And he's 24 years old. He's infusing his style of play. How is he pulling this off?
Well, you know what? Let's take a step back. Back in the bubble when Terance Mann almost had a triple-double. And you would expect that you would earn more minutes from your coach. He didn't earn more minutes. So what did he do the next season? He went in the gym. He put in a lot of work. He watched a lot of film. Some of the things that he needed to tweak was to be a better three-point shooter. And not just be a better three-point shooter. You need to shoot the ball with confidence. And he started to get more confidence because he put in the work. Now he started to understand how to be a better point guard. The only way you can be a better point guard in this league is by breaking down film. You are an extension of the coach. Now right here, he takes his time, uses the crossover dribble. Again, last season, he probably would have took that shot. But because of that vision, he saw Nicholas Batum. The next play, right when he gets the basketball, he's off to the races in transition. Sometimes as a young player, you can attack and take it on your own, but he makes the smart play to get it to Marcus Morris Sr. The next play right here. Right away, he makes the quick dish to Patrick Patterson. So, again, for Terance Mann, it's the game is really starting to slow down. And when the game slows down, like you're in slow motion, you're able to see everything on the floor. And that's the special thing about what he's doing as a player.
Certainly gives that second unit a completely different look. All right, speaking of different looks, how would you like Ty Lue's job this season? Condensed, trying to get every game in they can because of the pandemic, NBA rolling out so many games in a week, and then you have Ty Lue who's looking down the bench and he's missing this starter and that starter and this guy off the bench. What can we say about his flexibility and adaptability and the success we've seen?
I wonder how flexible Ty Lue really is. But again,
I don't want to find out if it's much more.
Yeah, but you know what? This is one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight Coach Ty Lue. Because of this season, you have so many guys in and out of the lineup. As a coach, you have to learn and do things on the fly. You have to trust your medical staff, and they have a great medical staff there. The Director of Medical Service, Mr. Jason Powell. So they do a good job of understanding when players need their rest. And Coach Lue has done such a great job of weathering the storm, despite what's happening. Some days it's raining, it's storming, it's hailing, and he finds a way to get the right combination of players to come in a game and to compete.
How much of that is in his gut, where he just looks around and he's like, nope, I'm going with Luke Kennard?
You know what? Basketball is about a gut feel sometimes. But for Ty Lue, you got to have a gut feeling on what players that you need to insert in that game. And that's only by even Coach Ty Lue watching film as a coach. You know, his mentors, Doc Rivers, and he pulled back all his mentors from the past of understand how to handle those situations, and he's done a great job of doing it.
What has he unleashed in Paul George?
You know what?
Can we even quantify that? Giving all the credit to PG, he's doing the work, but it feels unleashed by
You know what? I'm not going to give credit to the coach right now. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to give it to PG because PG puts in a ton of work. And if you look at what Paul George has done this season, he has got better being more of a facilitator. And when he needs to turn it on, and we talk about these previous two games that he's averaging 34 points a game and shooting 72% from three, we know where he's capable.
Beautiful downtown Los Angeles. We welcome you to Clippers Live, presented by CarMax on Valley Sports. Blockbuster matchup in Philadelphia as your Clippers face the East leading 76ers coming up on Clippers Live. We're still rolling from the rally in the Motor City. Is it the engine boost the Clippers needed to get to 8 straight? And guess what? PG-13, he's back with his own streak to defend. And we got a different look Sixers team this time around with Joel in his own house. MVP talk, it is on as we do indeed welcome you to the Valley Sports Studio. I'm Jeannie's Alaska. We have Don McClain. We have Corey Maggette, and we have a perfect way to end your work week, to end this road trip. Guys, there's 15 games, including this one on the regular schedule left. Tonight, we do find out that Kawhi Leonard will be taking the evening off. It's a cautionary situation with his foot. So are you working on more momentum tonight? Can you get some continuity going, Don?
Well, like the T said, they've been getting it from a bunch of different ways during this win streak. So, yeah, no Kawhi, that hurts in a matchup like this against the best team in the East. But I have a feeling they're going to figure it out. They've been doing it, Corey, this whole win streak. Yes, you want to have Kawhi back, but other guys are going to chip in. Reggie Jackson was a monster the other night in Detroit. Let's see who it is tonight.
Well, just get great contributions from everyone, like you just alluded to, Don. I just want to give some credit to Reggie Jackson and what he did last game to really carry the load for the team and to make those shots down at the end of the stretch. I had to shoot him a text like, hey, Reggie, I'm just so proud of you. And he said that, man, I'm just happy to keep this streak alive, and our team is playing well. And when we have our superstars out, we're able to respond. We're able to play with fire and intent and with great character on the basketball court.
Yeah, the texter just said happy birthday, by the way, because today is his birthday. I was hoping he was going to get a gift. Utah was losing. They were down big time to Indiana earlier today, down 17 at the half, but they came back and rallied, Don.
Yeah, and I still think getting that second seed might be, although the Jazz have lost a couple now. Phoenix just won't lose. It's unbelievable how much better they've gotten this year in the job that Monty Williams has done. But the Clippers just got to focus on their own and doing what they're doing. Like you said, 15 games left. Now's not the time to be pushing ahead and pushing through stuff, Corey. Now's the time to keep winning games, hopefully, but health in another, month or so is going to be the most important thing. Just
take care of what you could take care of. And, Donnie, you know this being a former player, the coach would say, just take care of your own business. Don't worry about the outside noise, whatever else is going on from any other team. If you take care of your game will take care of you.
Corey, it is hard to imagine what the Clippers do for an encore tonight after what went down in Detroit, the improbable finish, and not just because they were down at least 3 starters. The bench and the starting unit just kind of morphed together, trailing by 5 with under a minute to go. Did you get more out of a win like this clutch win?
You know what? I really believe that it built a lot of character and maturity in this team, and they didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but if you look what happened in the last couple minutes of the game, and T-Man to make that strong play to get to the basket. And right here, great recognition
biggest play
for Nick's play.
Right,
you write down the biggest play that got a deflection and got him out in transition. Terance Mann would have not made this play last season. Not saying that he couldn't because he didn't get a chance to score, but he made the right read to Reggie, and Reggie stepped in and made that play. And again, Mr. Coffey, the brewmaster, came in with a big-time deflection at the end. And, Don, I'm telling you, I got to give him the name, too. I'mAscoreOnYou.com. You just add Reggie Jackson to the mix.
I thought it was Action Jackson.
No, it's Action Jackson, too. But when you make a shot like that, I can add that in.
Got guys with multiple
multifaceted.
You got to give him multiple nicknames. I'mAscoreOnYou.com. The last shot of the game, you gave him the ball, and he took care of business.
Well, here's what I look at it as. Not so much that that's going to have long-term effects. You don't see comebacks like that very often when you're basically dead to rights and you come back and win. But I look at it as like a culmination of how Reggie's been playing, how Terance Mann's been playing. Amir Coffey's been coming in, giving them contributions. And so you put that all together, and it is possible to have a comeback like they had against the Pistons the other night. But from a confidence standpoint, that's what I'm interested in. Individually, the confidence growing game by game. You talked about Terance Mann, Corey, couldn't have done or wouldn't have made that play last year, that kick out to Reggie. I don't think Reggie Jackson last year could have gotten 29 in a game and hit a game winner. So everybody's evolved, and it's great to see that they can win games, and we're not just up here talking about Kawhi and PG every night as to why they win.
And Don, one more thing. The one thing that you can start to see more, and this is in late games that you need the most from your team, is to play with a sense of urgency. When you play with a sense of urgency, good things happen. the last possession, even when Terance Mann decided to go in for that tomahawk slam, that was a sense of urgency. He had to get to the basket. They didn't worry about taking that three-point shot. They made the play, and then they locked in on the defensive end. And this is something that we have continued to see from this team. The defense is there, their mindset is in the right place, and they're playing with such a sense of urgency.
Well, you mentioned we don't have to talk about PG and Kawhi every night, but we're going to talk about PG right now because help is on the way. He is the reigning Western Conference Player of the Week. And we were sweating this one out, Don, because we were told pregame, game time decision, he's a little bit under the weather, but he's back.
Well, hopefully he does his best Michael Jordan under the weather impression and has a game like he had in the playoffs years ago. But I just hope this doesn't interrupt anything that PG has going right now because he is playing at a high level, shooting it really well. And if he is under the weather, hopefully that's the only reason. But he should be fresh from a physical standpoint after not playing on Wednesday night. But we'll see. PG playing really well right now.
He's playing great, Don. I mean, 60% from the three-point line, that's ridiculous. Like, Paul, why are you shooting the ball like that? That's just unbelievable to see what he's doing on the basketball court. One thing that Paul George, even last year and this year, he hasn't made any excuses. He come into the game, he's ready to play. If he doesn't play well, he admits to that. When he plays well, he continues to thrive on continually this season, Don.
He is our CarMax Call Your Shot because he's at 4 straight games with 30-plus points. Will he get to 5 tonight, Don?
I don't think so. I don't think so, and not because he's not playing great. If he is a little bit under the weather, I think the Philadelphia defense is going to lock in on him, Corey, without Kawhi in the lineup. I think I'm not saying he's not going to, but we have to choose. I'm choosing that he doesn't get 30-plus tonight.
I was on the fence with this one, Donnie Mac, because honestly, the way Paul George, the way he's playing right now, when he steps in the gym, he has an automatic 14 points. He hasn't even stepped on a basketball court, and he has 14 points. But you look at the defense of the Philadelphia 76ers with their twin towers and Joel Embiid and possibly Dwight Howard, I think a lot of the drives that we've seen from Paul George will be clogged up, which he won't be able to get that over 30 points tonight.
All right, so Philly's had sole possession of the top of the East for 2 days now. Ben Simmons comes out today and says, yeah, we're winning a championship. So are you giving it to them, Corey? I mean, is Brooklyn just laying down? They're pretty injured right now, but do you see this as Philly's East to lose?
Well, you know what? You look at what Philly has done, and even having Joel Embiid out, they have really thrived really well. But when I'm looking at the Philadelphia 76ers and even the the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, they haven't had, James Harden and Kevin Durant. I think the East, it will still be a battle at the end if you start to get guys back more healthy. But again, they're a very talented team, and he's the guy. Joel Embiid is the guy. If you can slow him down, you have a chance. The other problem with the Brooklyn Nets, if you slow one person down, you still got to deal with Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or one other player on their team.
I think it just depends on how interested Brooklyn is in winning the regular season, if they care about having the best record. Because once they get rolling and guys start getting back in the lineup, there's no doubt that Brooklyn's a better team on paper.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. Ty, we have one of the great things that we've been able to do here is talk a lot about wins that were really great wins in terms of a team coming together shorthanded. We have another one. Reggie Jackson returns to Detroit, hits the game winner. Tell me I always feel like you learn more about people and players in situations of adversity. And with Reggie being out of the starting lineup and back in the rotation, tell me what you've learned about Reggie over this year.
I'm just a professional, just staying ready, getting his work in every day with Chauncey has been great for him. And then when he wasn't playing, just working out with the young guys, playing 5-on-5, and working out with the player development guys to keep his game sharp. And, Reggie, he's a hard worker. Sometimes he works too much. You got to kick him out of the gym because, he's doing too much, but he's always willing to stay ready. He's always willing to work hard. He loves seeing people like that, come out on top. And he's been playing great for us, in Pat's absence. And, I'm just happy for him that he's able to do that.
An unsung hero in that win over the Pistons, Amir Coffey, has a play that we didn't talk enough about. He had the deflection that ultimately led to your last possession. Give us a big view of Amir. I'm a fan. I really think he's a good player. Tell me what you see in a couple of years from Amir Coffey.
Just a versatile player. I think, he was on my radar last year. We played Boston. and to see what he guarded and competed against Kemba Walker. And he did a fantastic job, So that's when he first came on my radar. But just a guy who can get to the basket, really improved his shooting the 3-point shot, but also, he can guard 1 through 4. So we're able to switch a lot of things with him, and he's very aggressive defensively. A lot of deflections, shot blocks, be able to get through screens, and like I said, he's really, really matured.
I've noticed it. Fans have noticed it. Many media members have noticed this as well. There just seems to be like a real fun vibe around this team. What can you see as a difference from maybe this time a year ago to where you guys are right now?
I just think, like I said, we're in a good spot. I think, understanding who we are, be able to come out and, finally get it. We've been working at it for 5 months and understanding what we want on both sides of the basketball, offensively and defensively. Those guys have done a great job. Like I said, it starts with PG and Kawhi of just, understanding what we want, what we need. And those guys sacrifice to make other guys better, but also get theirs as well. They've done a tremendous job of doing both.
Sixers are very good. Tell me what makes them so good in your eyes.
I think, Joel Embiid, MVP candidate at the top of the list before he got hurt. And just, the respect he demands on the post, just you got to come double him, you got to come triple him, just kind of try to keep it out of his hands as much as possible. But he puts so much pressure on your defense because he gets the bigs in foul trouble. Then if you try to double team, you can step out to the 3-point line and take the guy off the dribble. And so he's able to mix it up. So he just puts so much pressure on you, I think on the post. And then Ben Simmons, with his pace and speed, the way he pushes the ball in transition, you can't turn the ball over against this team because he's a one-man fast break.
Aside from turnovers, your biggest key tonight against the Sixers?
I think playing without fouling. Joel Embiid, puts you in some tough situations, but we have to keep our bigs on the floor as much as possible because, we want to try to double team, show them some different looks, but keep them off balance. But we need our bigs, not to get in foul trouble, and we just can't turn the basketball over.
Ty, best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Jeannie, back to you.
Still on the way, Jim Jackson's jumping on as the three-man weave breaks down Joel Embiid, the epic rematch, and of course, the Corey Maggette introduction on Bally Sports. Clippers Live is presented by CarMax, official used car retailer.
Traffic problems today, but that's all right. You're here. You're here with us.
This is L.A., bro.
I got you.
L.A.
Don't I know? So, listen, the Clippers beat Philly last time by 10, but no Joel Embiid, and I'm curious, your thoughts with Embiid in there. He's an MVP candidate. How much does the game change for the Clippers with Embiid playing tonight?
Well, significantly. I mean, they controlled the paint in that first game 54-40 in regards to paint points leaning towards the Clippers. You're not going to probably have that if you have Embiid inside, that much of a disparity in favor of the Clippers. But a couple things happen, too. Now, you don't have to double team in the post, so that doesn't open up opportunities on the perimeter to knock in shots, okay? So with Embiid, you got to pay close attention. Even when he picks and pops, you want him to shoot the 3-point shot. He's able to knock it in. But when he gets that big body in the paint, you're going to have to make a decision on what you want to do because he can easily get 50 points. And then once you come and help, now he can kick it out. Now, I will say this. One thing he does have an issue with at times, guys, is passing out the double team. So let's keep our eye on that aspect of it in this game, that if the Clippers choose to double team, how Embiid handles it. But of course, when he's in the game, you're going to pay close attention because he's such a dominant force inside.
Hey, Jim, I was actually about to say that, too, about the double teams with Joel Embiid, where I think with the Clippers, because they have great length, they can actually pick their poison by actually stunning on Joel Embiid and forcing him to pick the ball up and make those passes out of the double team. Like you alluded to, this guy is a monster in the low post. He's back. It's almost back to the old Shaq days when you had a prototypical big man in that low post that can score. He has a ton of move. He has amazing footwork in the low post. And then all of a sudden, he has another trick in his bag. He can step out to the 3-point line. So for the players with the Clippers, you think about Ivica and possibly DeMarcus Cousins, is the way they guard DeMarcus Cousins, the way they guard Joel Embiid will be very, very difficult tonight because of his ability to have so many different tricks to play with.
Yeah, I think the thing with Embiid, and his MVP season got disrupted by injury a little bit, but he got in better condition this year. I think he's able to withstand more. I think he doesn't get fatigued, so he's making better decisions, passing out of those double teams. But let's talk about his matchup tonight, Corey. You mentioned Zoo, and what a great challenge this is for him to match up with Embiid tonight.
Well, the Visa, he's played great basketball over the last couple months. He's found his rhythm. He's very comfortable in the position that he's in. And moving into the starting lineup, he's actually getting more mature in that low post. And this is a great test for him. If you want to play against the best players in the world and the person that plays your position to dominate him, Joel Embiid is this guy. So for Visa tonight, this will be a great challenge for him. And I believe that he's going to do a good job on him if he pushes him out of the paint. You cannot give him any space. You cannot let him get in that low post position to score at will.
Hey, Corey, you know what? Take it even a step further. If the Clippers choose to double team, Zubac can't take chances and just pick up cheap fouls. You know you're going to get one or two just because of the physicality of the game. So you can't pick up, a cheap foul trying to come over the back to knock the ball away. You can't do it or reach down. Second, what helps Zoo is the pressure on the passer. Because if you pressure the passer, now even if Embiid is open for a split second, maybe because the hands are waving in front of the offensive player trying to attempt to put the ball inside, maybe it doesn't get there. Now Zoo can get better position, so it's twofold. If you really want Zubac to really play great defense inside, make it tough on those entry passes to a deep post to Embiid and now give him a chance to reposition himself on defense.
Hopefully we don't have to see him a lot because of foul trouble, but I also think we'll see DeMarcus Cousins a decent amount tonight. For nothing else, to use fouls on him so that Embiid just doesn't get cranking and gets 45-plus on him. But speaking of Embiid, let's talk MVP race. We got about 15 games or so left in the season. Here's the 5 our producer, Daryl Lewis, put up on the screen. Agree, disagree, anybody else should be on there, and who do you like, Jim?
Well, I can't see it, but I pretty much talking to Daryl know who's on there. But I agree with this. I like Dame as a 5th option just because of what he had to do in regards to carrying the Portland Trailblazers when the injuries surmounted a much where C.J. McCollum wasn't in there, Nurkic wasn't in there, and it was actually Dame carrying the load. So of course Giannis and Doncic, and also we talked about Embiid, but to me it's Jokic. His best ability is availability. He's been there, the triple doubles. He's led this team. Unfortunately with Jamal Murray, that kind of takes away a little bit of steam in regards to winning a championship. But look at the body of work and what he put in. I think you reward a player that has been there, has been available, has been on the court, and has put up phenomenal numbers.
I mean, if you look at the list that was shown, it's a few players that weren't on that list. It's James Harden, the way that he's played. He's played phenomenal in Brooklyn. But again, another injury. And then for me, another dark horse is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, the Utah Jazz, they have the best record. And he was playing good basketball. He got hurt tonight. So now that's another injury when you talk about the MVP candidate. But if you have to look at, like you said, the best ability is availability. Jokic he has been available. He's put in 26, 10-plus rebounds, and 8 assists per game. If you had to make a decision right now, it would probably have to be Jokic.
I think right now, today, it's Jokic, but here's what I envision. I think there's going to be some drop-off with Jamal Murray being out of the lineup for Denver. Where does that place them in the standings at the end of it? But what if Embiid plays the string out and doesn't miss a game the rest of the way and they win the East? Similar numbers to Jokic. Don't at that point you have to strongly consider Embiid if they're the best team in the East.
Well, but hold up, though. But you're going to take into consideration the games that he missed, too, in regards to during the course of the season. So I know that plays heavily in some of the voters' minds in regards to the number of games missed. But the point is very valid. If Philly ends up winning the East and Joel continues to put up these numbers, then but this is what you want, though. You don't want a cut and dry MVP.
That's right.
Just like we don't know from a playoff perspective of who's going to be 1 through 8. Or, we don't know who the MVP is going to be either. So I think the NBA right now is loving every minute of this intrigue.
Just to follow up your point, Corey, let's hope Donovan Mitchell's ankle injury isn't as